Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So for today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my everyday makeup drawer. If you guys missed my very first everyday makeup drawer video, I will have that in the description box below as well as on the card on the screen. But basically what I've been doing, or what I did in the last video, was showed you guys what is currently in my everyday makeup drawer, and this is what is currently in my everyday makeup drawer, and then tell you guys a little bit of each of the products if I didn't touch base on it in the last video, and then I'll go off camera and swap everything out and then show you guys what's in the makeup drawer, the everyday makeup drawer, for the next 2 months. Now I told you guys that I wanted to try to do this every 2 months, so that's what I'm doing. So this is just gonna be my everyday makeup drawer, or this was my everyday makeup drawer for August through October, and now that we are in October, I figured that we can swap this out and put in new makeup that I want to try, or keep the makeup that I want to keep because they're my staple, and this is going to be swapped to my October through December everyday makeup drawer. So before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and I hope that you guys are liking this type of video. This is going to be a series, so I will have a playlist for these kinds of videos on my channel somewhere. Let's just go ahead and get started. So like I mentioned before, these are the products that were in my everyday makeup drawer for the month of August through October. I'm filming this on October 2nd. By the time you guys see this, will probably be up on my channel either Monday or Friday, so I don't know yet, but I do have another video up on my channel that is currently waiting to be published. I don't know if I'm going to publish that first or this one, but you guys will see. But anyway, these are the products that I had in my drawer for the month of August to October, and I'm just gonna quickly go through each of the products and let you guys know what products I'm gonna be keeping and what products I'm gonna be putting away so that I can put new makeup in there, and or makeup that I've had in my collection that I haven't tried in a while, or makeup that I have in my collection that I have yet to try. So let's just go ahead and get started. So we're first gonna start off with this one right here. So I did mention this in my last everyday makeup drawer video, and this is the CEO Vitamin C Rich Hydration Cream, and I did say that I was gonna go and keep this. So being that I haven't used it yet, I'm gonna keep it because it's a little packet, so I'm just gonna keep it in here just so I can use it up and see what I think about it. So it's gonna stay right here. This is also gonna stay in my everyday makeup drawer, and this is from Milk, and this is the Hydro Grip Primer. I did receive this in a Sephora birthday gift thing, the birthday reward, so I'm gonna keep this in here again because it's a little packet and I do want to test this out. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start off with this bin right here. This one I'm just gonna keep because, again, like I mentioned in my previous video, it's just my Q-tips and my hair clip, so I'm just gonna keep that right there. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with this bin right here. The first one is this one from e.l.f., and this is the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. Okay guys, so like I was saying, I'm gonna start off with this container, and the first thing I'm gonna pull out is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I have been loving the concealer, so I am gonna be keeping this in my everyday makeup drawer just because it has been my go-to. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this in here for now. Next up is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Now surprisingly, I'm actually gonna be putting this away for now just because I'm almost out and I don't want to run out of it until I have a backup. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this away so I can test out a different kind of concealer, because I do have some other concealers in my collection that I do want to try out. Alright, up next is this one from Wet n Wild, and this is the Big Papa Mascara. I have yet to try this out, so I'm gonna be keeping this in my everyday makeup drawer just because I do want to try this out and let you guys know what I feel. I am planning to do a testing out new makeup that I have in my collection that I have yet to try. So I'm gonna keep this in my everyday makeup drawer so I can include or maybe use that as an option for a new mascara. Next one is this one from Maybelline, and this is the Sky High Mascara. I did state in my last, I don't know when I stated it, but I actually am not that big of a fan of it just because of the way the formula is and the fact that it takes a while to take it off. So I'm going to be putting this away just because I'm not really a big fan of it. I'm not going to declutter this because I do want to finish this up. But to be honest, if I was to be given the option of repurchasing it, I would not. And then the last mascara that I have in my collection is this one from Essence. And this is the Lash Princess Paradise. Oh, I'm sorry, Lash Princess, not Lash Princess Paradise. But you guys know that this is my staple. So I'm going to be keeping this in my everyday makeup drawer because I can't find myself to part with it yet. So keeping this in my everyday makeup drawer. So I have another concealer over here, and this is from Maybelline, and this is the eraser concealer. And you guys know that I have yet to try this out. I did swatch it, but I do want to keep this in my everyday makeup drawer because I do want to test this out. So this is gonna stay in here. And then I have the e.l.f. brow pencil, and you guys know this is gonna be staying here. Don't need to explain why, but this is gonna be staying here. I do want to look for other brow products within the next 2 months, so if I find something, then I'll insert the new product in the drawer next time. And then I have another mascara over here, and this is from Milk Makeup. This is another one that I do want to test out, so this is gonna be staying in here. I have two creme gel liner from ColourPop, and I have the honeydew one and this brown one. I forgot the name of it, but this will be staying in my everyday makeup drawer just because these are my go-tos. I usually use the brown quite a lot during the fall season. This is gonna be staying in here. And then the last two products that are in my makeup, this bin right here, is this one from Tarte, and this is just their brow gel. So this one is gonna be staying here just because, again, I do want to test this out. And then this is also gonna be staying in here. This is the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof Mascara. I'm sorry, this is not the mascara. This is the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof eyeliner. So this is gonna be staying in here just because I do apply eyeliners when I can, like to create a wing. So this has been one of my favorites. So this is gonna stay in this bin. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next item or the next bin. And what I usually do, I'll just take out everything, just empty this drawer, and then show you guys what I decided to keep and what I decided to put away, and then put them all together, and then go back off camera and then show you guys the new everyday makeup drawer for the next 2 months. So let's just go ahead and move on or continue. So the first one in this bin right here, this is the biggest bin. It just holds the most products. But the next one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. You guys will be surprised that I'm actually going to be putting this away just so I can venture out and try out a new product, new highlighters, because I do have a lot and I do want to not finish this up even though this is a big product. Okay guys, so I pulled out my ring light so you can see each of the products in a more crisp picture. But like I said, I am going to be putting this Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter, the Smoothie highlighter, just so I can try out new products and new highlighters. And I really don't want to run out of this so quickly because this is no longer available, sadly. So this is going to be going back in my highlighter drawer. Alright, up next is this highlighter from Ofa. This is the highlighter in the shade Blue, and I actually have been loving this, but I do want to put this away so I can try out new products. So this is going to be going back in my highlighter drawer. Another Ofa product that I have in my everyday makeup drawer currently is this bronzer from Ofa, and this is the shade Versatile Matte. I'm actually going to be putting this away for right now because I do have other bronzers in my collection that I do want to test out. So this is going to be going back in my drawers where I keep all of my bronzers and highlighters and blushes. Okay, up next is this one from Tarte. So this is their Amazonian Clay blushes. This is in the shade Feisty. So this is what the blush looks like, and this is going back in my collection again so I can try out new blushes. And then we have these two blushes from Essence, and I'm actually gonna be putting one of them back. So the first one is this one. This is in the shade Befitting, and it looks like this. So this is more like Mauve Rose type of shade. I actually prefer this type of blush for the fall season or fall going into winter season, just because it looks more wintry and fallish. So I'm gonna be keeping this in my everyday makeup drawer. And then the other blush from Essence that I have is this one. This is in the shade Beloved. This is very much more pinky than the other one. Let me swatch both of them for you. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell, but this is what this looked like. The more mauve one is the befitting one, and then the more brighter pink is the beloved one. So I'm going to be keeping this befitting one again just because I like the way it looked during this time of the year. Okay, up next is this one from Alamar Cosmetics, and this is just the blush Colored Blush Trio, and this one I'm going to be putting back in my makeup collection. So these are what they look like. It is more on the summery shade, so I am going to be putting this back in my collection. I do love the shade Paraiso. I think that's more of a great everyday rosy type of blush shade, but I am going to be putting this away because I do have other blushes in my collection that I do want to try out and want to put some more love in. So this is going to go back in my collection. And then the last bronzer in this drawer is this one from Tarte, and this is the Park Ave bronzer. This one I'm going to be putting back in my everyday makeup drawer, not my everyday, my collection again, just because I have other bronzers that I do want to test out. So I'm going to be putting this away. I do like this just because it does have a nice sheen to it, but again I do want to try out other bronzers, so I'm going to be putting this back for now. And then I have two powders that I'm going to be keeping in my everyday makeup drawer just because they've been my staple. One is my staple, and then one I just want to keep on testing out. So the first one is this one from Beauty Bakery, and this is the Flower Setting Powder, and I did receive this in a box charm a couple of months ago, and I have been loving it. So I like the fact that this has a sifter, and it will prevent you from creating a big mess because loose setting powders can be very messy. So I like this one that just because it does have a sifter, and you can twist it to close so it won't go all over the place in case you decide to take this whenever you're traveling or whatnot. But yeah, usually I just like to just dump the powder in the cap right here and go from there, but I am going to be keeping this in my everyday makeup drawer. And the other setting powder, the loose setting powder that I'm going to be keeping in my everyday makeup drawer is this one from Wet n Wild, and this is just the Photo Focus Translucent Setting Powder. So again, this is my go-to, so I am going to be keeping this, and it is a big powder, but I actually just got this, so I take that back. But it is kind of messy, but this is what it looks like right there. And again, I'm going to be keeping this in my everyday makeup drawer just because it is my go-to setting powder. The last setting powder that I have in my drawer is this one from KVD. I'm trying to see if I have this upside down. So like I was saying, the last powder that I have in my everyday makeup drawer is this one from KVD, and this is just their loose setting powder, and it is a mini size one, but I am going to be putting this back in my everyday makeup drawer. So I think I have other loose setting powder that I want to try out for underneath my eyes. I do just use this for underneath my eyes, so this will be going back in my collection. Alright, so I do have eyeshadow palettes that I do use on an everyday basis, but some of them are quite big, so I don't keep that there. I do have a separate container for the bigger palette, which I will show you guys later on in this video. I'm going to be swapping those palettes out to try out new palettes, so I will show you guys those in a little bit. And then the other thing that I forgot to show you guys in my last video were my lip products, so I'm going to remember to show you guys in this video. But anyway, let's go back to this everyday makeup drawer. We're almost done. I have one tiny eyeshadow palette in this everyday makeup drawer, and this is just from ELF, and this is one of the bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. So this is the cream and sugar one, and it looks like so. I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. I think I'm probably gonna put this back. You know what? I think I'm gonna put this back for now. I do have 3 other bite-sized eyeshadow palettes from ELF that I do want to try out for the next 2 months. So I'm gonna be putting this back, and then we're almost done with this bin, and then we can move on to swapping it out. So I do have 2 primers in here. So the first one is this one from First Aid Beauty, and this is just the Hello Fab Coconut Skin Priming Moisturizer. This one I'm going to be keeping just because I do love this primer and how moisturizing it is. So I'm going to be keeping this in my everyday makeup drawer. And then the other primer that I have in this drawer is this one from Benefit, and this is just the POREfessional primer. So this is a pore minimizing primer. So I'm actually going to be putting this back in my collection because there's another Benefit primer that I do want to test out, so I'm gonna swap this with that one. Alright, so for foundations, we have 3 foundations in here. The first one is this one from Wet n Wild, and this is the Tinted Hydrator, and I think I'm gonna be keeping this in my everyday makeup drawer because this is my staple, so this is gonna stay in here. I really love this one, by the way. It is so good. It's great for everyday wear, like if I'm going out just to run errands and stuff. This is what I usually throw on. This will stay in my everyday makeup drawer. The next foundation that I have in my everyday makeup drawer is this one from Believe. I haven't tried this yet, and I'm gonna be keeping this in here because I do want to try this. I'm hoping that the shade is not too dark, but my husband works at Dollar General, so if it is too dark, I can always grab another shade that's lighter than this. But I do want to test this out. Again, I'm planning a testing out new makeup video very soon, so keep an eye out for that. But this is one of the foundations that I do want to test out, so this will stay in my everyday makeup drawer. And last but not least, I have this foundation right here. This is from Maybelline, and this is their matte and poreless foundation. This is gonna go back in my everyday makeup drawer so I can try out new foundation in my collection. So gonna be putting this back. Alright, so this is what the drawer looks like. I'm gonna be wiping this down in just a little bit, and then you guys see all of this mess right here, but these are just okay. Let me try to separate this. So on this side right here, let me lower the brightness. Sorry about the monitor, but I'm watching my daughter, waiting for her to go to bed. But on this side right here, all this I'm gonna be keeping in my everyday makeup drawer, and on this little pile right here is just going to be the one that I'm gonna be putting back in my drawer. So I'm gonna quickly wipe these bins down and then put everything back, the one that I decided to keep in my everyday makeup drawer, and then pull out the stuff that I want to put in my everyday makeup drawer to the one that I found my collection to use for the next 2 months. I'm gonna do all of that off camera, so I will be right back. Alright you guys, so this is what my everyday makeup drawer looks like for the month of October through December. I'm just gonna quickly run through all of the new product that I decided to add in here. I'm not gonna touch through the product that I have already or that I decided to keep. I put the one that I decided to keep, like for example in this bin, like in the bottom, and then the ones I decided to add on top. So we're gonna start off with this bin and then work our way up. Alright, so I only added 3 things. I had to put one of them in here. So the first thing that I added is this one, a concealer from A Dose of Colors. I am going to be keeping this in the packaging because when I test out these products, especially the new ones, the ones I haven't tried, I do want to show you guys what the packaging looks like. Hopefully this is still good because it seems like it's kind of hiding. You guys see that? But hopefully it's still good. But anyway, I haven't tried this yet, and hopefully the shade isn't too light, but this is the Dose of Colors Meteor Hue Concealer, and I got the shade light, tan light, and I received this in a boxy charm, so I am wanting to try this out. Like I said, hopefully it's still good because it feels like it's looking like this. I don't know, but hopefully it's still good. Anyway, I'm gonna keep this in here, and again, like I said, I'm gonna keep it in the packaging, so when I try this out in a video, you guys can see the actual packaging. The other thing that I added is this one from LA Girl, and this is just the Glide Gel liner, and it looks like so. So this is just a kohl gel liner for your waterline. It is very pigmented if you guys can't see that, but I love how this looks, so I'm excited to try this one out. And then the last thing that I added is this one from Benefit, and this is just the Bad Gal Bang Mascara. I purchased like one of those gift sets that came with a highlighter, a primer, and this mascara. I have actually all 3 from that gift set, but I do want to try this out. I haven't even looked at the wand yet. So this is what the wand looks like. It looks promising, so I can't wait to try this out. Alright, we're gonna move on to these products, and again I'm gonna quickly zoom through it. So the first thing that I added, I did push this bin a little bit further so I can just put these 4 of these things in here because I don't have any more room in the bin. The first thing that I added is this one from ColourPop, and this is with the collaboration with Kathleen Light. So this is just her loose eye shadows, and I think this is in the shade Goat, but that's what it looked like. I'm gonna swatch it for you guys so you guys can see what it looked like. So that's what it looked like right there. It's a really pretty shade of like a dark coppery brown, and it looks so beautiful all over the lid. So I think this would be perfect for the fall, so I'm gonna add this to my everyday makeup collection. And then I added all of these 3 e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadows. So the first thing that I put in here is this one. This is in the shade, I don't know the shade, but I'll put it in the screen somewhere. But this is what it looks like. It's a really great 4-pan eyeshadow that has lots of mauves. It's more like a cool tone mauve, and it is great for the fall, so I'm excited for this one. And then the other thing that I added was this one. This is, I'll put all of the shade names on the screen because I can't see, it's so tiny, but this is more of the greener palette. So I didn't realize that I never opened it yet, but this is what it looks like. It is so pretty. I can't wait to play around with it. It's so pretty. I love these kinds of shades of green for the fall, so very excited to play around with this one. And then the last one that I have on here, you guys saw this in my last collection. I had it in my everyday makeup drawer and then I decided to take it out, but this is the pumpkin pie one, and this one is such a great everyday eyeshadow for the fall. Love all of the fall colors in here, so beautiful. Decided to put it back in my everyday makeup drawer for the month of October through December. Now we're gonna move on to this bin right there. So the first thing that I added, is this highlighter from OFA, and this is the collaboration with Nikki Tutorials. So this is in the shade Glow Goals, and this is the collaboration with OFA and Nikki Tutorials. Nikki Tutorials is such a great makeup artist and the highlighter queen. So this is what it looks like. It looks so pretty. Let me swatch it. It is a great shade of, I can't really describe it, but it's more like a pink champagne shade. So excited to try this out. And then of course you have the Rodeo Drive from OFA. This is a staple when it comes, or at least to me, when it comes to the fall season, because I love the gold tone of this highlighter. So this is gonna be over here for my everyday makeup drawer. And then the last highlighter that I decided to put in my everyday makeup drawer is this one from Benefit, and this is just the cookie highlighter. I used it in my Get Ready With Me video a couple of videos ago, and I absolutely love this, and that is what it looks like right there. It is a stunning shade of highlighter and it's very blinding. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's so pretty. Definitely I'm glad that I added this to my collection, or to my everyday makeup drawer. And then we have some bronzers. I have some bronzers on my desk that I'm going to show you guys in just a little bit. But actually, let me show you the blushes. I did decide to add this blush right here. This is from Ciate London, and this is just the blush in the shade, oh goodness, I cannot see that. But I will show you guys, or put the shade name on the screen. But this is what it looks like. It's so pretty, and then when I swatch it, it has a really nice pinky undertone. Don't know if you guys can see that, but it's so pretty. So definitely glad that I'm adding this to my everyday makeup collection. The other blush that I decided to add to my everyday makeup collection is this one from Laura Geller. This is just her baked blush in the shade Blush and Brighten. I think that's the name of the shade. But the actual product looks like so. It is a stunning shade, so I'm excited for this one. And then we have some foundations. I only added 2 foundations in here and 2 primers. The first one is this one from L'Oreal, and this is the L'Oreal 24-hour Brush Wear Foundation in a powder. I've seen this floating around over the summer and I have yet to try it. So I am excited for this. I don't even know if I opened this yet. So I haven't opened it, but that's what it looked like. I'll open it up for you guys when we try it out together in a trying out new makeup video, but that's what it looked like. And then I decided to add my pore filling primer from Touch and Soul. This is just the No Poreblem primer, and I love this to fill in your pores, and it just makes your skin look so flawless. And then the last primer that I added here is this one from Benefit, and this is just the POREfessional primer. This is the hydrating one, so that's what it looks like right there. And I haven't tried it yet. I don't even know if it's still sealed, but we're gonna test it out. It's gonna be like a first impression. And then the last thing that I added for my collection, or for my everyday makeup drawer, is this one from Wet n Wild. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, and this is just the dewy one. So I'm very excited for this. I love dewy foundations, especially during the winter time because my skin tends to get dry during the winter. So excited to try this one out. I haven't tried it yet, so excited to try this one out. Alright, so those are all of the stuff that's in my drawer. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the ones that I'm going to be using throughout the next 2 months. But I can't keep it in the drawer. I have to put it probably, well, the other time I'm gonna keep it in the drawer, but I don't want to open it yet just because I do want to test that out and then testing out new videos. So let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so these are the products that I'm gonna be also using for the month of October through December. So I have 2 putty products from e.l.f. right here. So I do have the putty bronzer in the shade Tan Lines, I believe. So that's what it looked like. Again, I do want to open this and test this out in an everyday makeup video or testing out new makeup videos, and you guys will see me unbox this for the first time over there. And then the other new makeup putty product from e.l.f. that I have is this one. This is the putty blush in the shade Barley. So hopefully this isn't too dark. We'll see. We'll just test this out in the video. And then the other primer that I wanted to try out is this one from Element. This is the Superfood Glow Moisturizing Primer. I actually received this in a boxy charm. I haven't yet to try this. Let me see what it looks like. Alright, so it looks like this and it looks promising. So I'm excited to try this out and let you guys know in that video. And I didn't add a lot of blushes, single blushes, in my everyday makeup drawer just because I don't have much. So I do need to add more. But I did receive this in a boxy charm last month in September, and I'm glad because I needed new blushes. But this is the Blink Glow Getter palette, and it has an array of blushes and highlighters. So that's what it looks like, and I do want to test this out in a video. But I like the fact that it does have blushes because, like I said, I don't have a lot of blushes, single blushes in my collection. So I'm very excited for this one. And it also has some highlighters and like a very sheen looking kind of bronzer, I think. So excited to try this out. And then I also have these 2 setting sprays. This was in my everyday makeup. Well, these 2 I use all the time, but I do want to use this more. So this is the Catrice Prime and Fine Glowy or Dewy Glow Setting Spray, and I love this. I tested this out in my Get Ready With Me video and I absolutely love this. So gonna be using this more in the next 2 months. And then of course I have the ColourPop Hello Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Spray. So this one I'm also gonna be keeping. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys the palette that I actually had in this you'll see later, in this leather thing that I keep my bigger palettes in, just because I do have only 1 drawer for my everyday stuff. And I'm gonna swap or put back 2 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 palette that you see here. So the one of the things that I'm going to be putting back is this one from Huda Beauty, and this is just the warm brown palette. I did use this for a little bit over the summer, but I do want to put this back. Actually, yeah, I'm going to be putting this back because I do have a palette that has similar tones like this for the fall. So I am going to be putting this back. I will be using it during the fall, but just to test out new things, I do want to put this back. The next palette that I had in that bin was the Natasha Denona palette, and this is the Peak palette. I actually was debating on whether or not I wanted to put this away for October through December, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep this in here just because I did state that I want to try out these shades and this palette in general. So I am going to be keeping this in my everyday palette bin, if that's what you want to call it, so I can test this out. The next palette that I had in that bin was this one from Alma Cosmetics. This is just the Reina del Caribe palette, and this is the first volume, and this is what the palette looks like. It is so pretty, but I am going to be putting this away for October through December just because I have some palettes that I want to try out, and I consider this more of a summer palette even though there are some warm tones in here. But I do want to put this away and just pull it back out in the future. Then the last 2 palettes that I had in that bin are these 2. These are just the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill collaboration, and I do have both palettes. So I have this palette. This is the first volume. It has a lot of neutrals and some pops of colors. And then I have the second volume, which also has neutrals, but it has more pops of colors than neutrals. And I am going to be keeping both of them in this bin. I'm gonna go ahead and put those palettes away. Whatever palettes I decided to keep, I'll put back in there, and whatever palettes I decided to put away for now, I'm gonna put away, and then come back in just a second to show you what the new palettes that I'm gonna be putting in that bin, and then I'm gonna show you what the bin looks like. Okay, you guys, so I am back, and these are just going to be the only 4 palettes that I'm gonna be adding to the everyday palette bin. Let's just go ahead and get started. The first palette that I'm going to be adding is this one from Dose of Colors, and this is just the Blushing Berries palette. Palette has a lot of berry tones because obviously it is a berry inspired palette. So I am going to be putting this in my everyday palette bin just because I love wearing like berries, especially dark tone berries during the fall season heading into winter. This is going to be going into that bin, and these eyeshadows, by the way, are so pigmented. I purchased this because of I Love Sarayi when she did a review on it, and I've been loving it ever since. Definitely I'm excited to play around with this again. Okay, so the next palette that I'm going to be adding to the everyday palette bin is this one from Dominique Cosmetics, and this is just, if you guys hear noises, that's my stool chair. It's so creaky, it's not even funny. But anyway, so this is from Dominique Cosmetics, and this is just the Celestial Thunder palette, and this is what the actual palette looks like. There are more warm tones in here and some berry tones. You also have these hot pink and hot blue shades right here that's actually perfect for the summer, but I'm actually more gearing towards the warmer tone for the fall, so that's why I'm going to be pulling this out, because I do love the shades on this, and the pigment on this is incredible. This is like the mini version of her full-size Celestial palette, and this formula is amazing. Can't wait to play around with this again. Now we have the Modern Renaissance palette from ABH. This has been a cult favorite for so many years, ever since it came out, and it's still a favorite among others, and it is a favorite of mine as well. So I love pulling this out and using this during the fall season. The shades in here are absolutely perfect for the fall. You have your mix of berries and your mix of warm tones and neutral shades, perfect for the fall heading into winter. Definitely love this shade or this palette, so I can't wait to again play around with it during the next 2 months. And then the last palette that I'm going to be playing with, it's still in the packaging because I just recently got this. This is the Pumpkin Spice Season eyeshadow palette from I Heart Revolution. The packaging of this is so cute. My husband actually surprised me and bought this when he went to Ulta a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't know that he included it when we checked out in the checkout line at Ulta until I got home. Very thankful for that. I did unbox this in one of my vlogs. I'll put that vlog in the description box if you guys want to see it. And I did some swatches, but not all, but I do want to do like either a first impression or trying out new makeup using this palette. Here are all of the shades. It is a mix of pretty much everything, but it is so pretty. It did not have any pumpkin smell to it, like any pumpkin spice smell, so if you guys are wondering if it does have any sort of scent, it doesn't. But the shades of these are so pretty. Let me swatch some. So here are just some of the swatches. I just swatched 3 of the shades from the palette, and it's absolutely stunning. It's so pigmented. It does feel very creamy, but again, I'm gonna do like a first impression on this or trying out new makeup and using this palette. So but I am excited to add this to my everyday palette bin and play around with it. Alright you guys, so in the back right here is the everyday palette bin. So I do have all of the stuff that I added to my everyday palette bin that I'm going to be using for the month of October through December. I did purchase this bin a few years ago. I think I purchased this from Dollar General, but this is where I hold all of my larger palettes that can't fit in these drawers for whatever reason. And I also do have the e.l.f. Line and Define Eye tape right here, which I haven't used yet, but I do keep that in there in case I need it. And then I also have my fan that I received that I bought from Amazon. And yeah, but that's what this eyeshadow palette pen looks like. And then this is my lipstick tray thing. I'm not gonna do anything crazy today just because I do just keep this like this for aesthetic reason, but I do have all of the lipsticks in here that I love and will be using for the next 2 months. So I'm not gonna go through each of them, but I do have a lot of great fall shades, like this one from Wet n Wild. This is such a beautiful shade for the fall season. But yeah, so I am going to be keeping this as is. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my lipstick bin or lip bin. It's just like a long bin, and I'm also going to show you guys the lip bin that I keep in my desk or on my desk drawer, what I'm going to be having for the month of October through December. So I'll be right back. Alright you guys, so this is my everyday lipstick bin. So I do have two. I have this clear one right here that I keep in my desk drawer, and then I have this really long pink one that I keep in my vanity drawer. So I'm going to start off with the lip crayons and lip pencils just so I can put them in this bin so they can stop rolling away. So I did get these two from Tinted, and these are just lip pencils or lip crayons rather, and I think I have three. I have some more over here. So I have three of these right here, and I think I'm gonna put this in my everyday bin, lip bin, so I could use this for the fall. I haven't tried these yet, but let me go ahead and swatch this so I know what it looks like. So it does look like so, and I'm gonna swatch each of these three for you guys. Alright, so those are what they look like. I think I'm gonna skip on the pink one, so I'm only just gonna keep the first two, I guess. Even this one is a little light, but I'm gonna try this out and let you guys know what I think. And then I have all of these lip crayons that I want to test out, and actually one of them I had in my drawer. So these are just basically very neutral shades. So I'm gonna be keeping all of these in my everyday lip bin so I can use them for the fall season. I'm gonna start off with my desk lip bin. I do just have two lip treatments that I keep in the bin. So I have this Laneige one, and then I have this one from Hanal. So this is just the lip balm from Hanal. I think that's how you pronounce it. So I keep this in my lip bin drawer or lip bin in my desk drawer, so I can just use it whenever I go anywhere. And then I just have 4 lip glosses. So the first one is from Tarte, and this is just one of the Tarte lip glosses right here. It is a travel size and it's very sheer and very light, but I do love this one. And then I have this Ultra lip gloss in Moonshot from Colourpop. This was their collaboration with Kathleen Light, and I really love this. It is a really beautiful nude shade, or Ultra liquid lip size. So this is just the Ultra liquid lip. Hope you guys can see that. But I really love this. It's so beautiful and it's just a perfect everyday nude. And then I have this one from Ofa. I actually don't even know the name of this shade right here, but it is a beautiful mauve pink shade. It's one of the one of the liquid lipstick, and it is so good. So I swatched it right there next to Moonshot, and it's so pretty. And then the last lip gloss that I have in this bin is this one, or liquid lip that I have in this bin is this one from Rare Beauty. This is actually a glossy lip balm, so it's more of like a moisturizing lip product than an actual liquid lip, but it is a very stunning shade. So that's what it looks like. I swatched it next to the mauve shade right there, and it is a sheer formula, but it's so stunning and I love the shade of this. And then now we can move on to the last part of this video, which is this bin right here. This is the one that I keep in my vanity, and this is just going to be my everyday lip bin for the month of October through December. So I'm just going to quickly run through each of these lip products. So I have an Ofa long lasting liquid lipstick right here, and I love wearing vampy shades for the fall, especially these kinds of shades right here. So this is the shade Havana Nights. I think this is the one that Kathleen Light did with Ofa. It is a stunning shade, as you can see, very beautiful, and I absolutely love this one. It's a great vampy shade. I have another rare beauty item right here, and this is just the liquid lipstick. I'll put this shade on the screen because I cannot see that, but that's what it looks like. I swatched next to Havana Honey, or Havana Nights actually, and it's a pretty nude everyday shade. It is very comfortable on the lips. If you guys love wearing comfortable liquid lipstick, I would highly recommend checking out the Rare Beauty liquid lipstick right here. It's so good. And then I have two lip glosses that I have in my everyday bin, and these are from Colourpop and Morphe. This one is in the shade Shimmy Shimmy. This one is the Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Moon Tiara. And so I swatched it right there. The more yellowy tone is the Moon Tiara one, and then the more peachy shade is the Shimmy Shimmy one. So love both of them topped over any liquid lipstick or lipstick or anything like that. It is so beautiful, and they're both so affordable. And then I have this one from Seraphine Botanicals. This is just the lip oil. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm excited for this one. I don't know if it has a scent. It does have a scent, and the dope it looks like so. Yeah, I'm excited to try this one. I love lip oils. I think they're so moisturizing. And then the last two products that are in that bin are just lip treatments. So the first one is from Seraphine Botanicals, and I've talked about this in my last video. I did have this in my August through October everyday makeup drawer videos. I really love this. It has a sugary scrub feel, but it feels so good, and it helps get my lips ready for whatever lip product I'm going to use towards the end of my makeup routine. And then lastly, I have this one from Sol de Janeiro, and this is just their lip balm, and it looks like so. It smells really good. It does help moisturize your lips and get it ready for your lip product. Alright you guys, so that completes this video. These are all of the products that I'm going to be using throughout the month of October through December. I'm absolutely satisfied with all of the products that I decided to choose to use through those next 2 months. If you guys enjoyed this video, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on any of these kinds of videos. As I said in the beginning, I'm gonna have a playlist for these types of videos. I love making these so far. I think it just helps me be able to, use my makeup, all of the makeup that I have, and give them equal attention by just switching them out every 2 months. Let me know in the comments down below what your go-to products are for the fall heading into winter season. I'd really love to know. But yeah, like I said, that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
Let's sing a song full of hope, full of pain. Why don't you sing along, my friend, for it's our last refrain. Forever young, ever strong, ever brave.